What's going on, family? Welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be discussing The Invitation. Yes, the movie's now out in theaters, and this stars Nathalie Emmanuel, the beautiful actress from the Game of Thrones, and she was also in the Fast and the Furious franchise, especially in the last 3 films. She plays Ludacris's kind of love interest, a very smart girl. And in this gothic kind of horror romance movie, I think she knocked it out the ballpark. But I can't say that about the actual film. I think she was the best part of the film, and I'm gonna go through it here. This is basically a summary in a nutshell. And The Invitation is about a girl named Evie, which is Nathalie Emmanuel's character, and she's a struggling New York ceramicist, unable to survive on an artist's income. She caters at events, and she tries to finish her MFA. At one event, she gets a goodie bag with a free DNA test, and she gets curious, and she takes it, and the results show that she has English relatives who are well off, and obviously she's struggling, right? So maybe by contacting or, you know, reaching out, maybe they can help her a little, right? That's what you think while you go into the movie. And as we keep going along, a cousin pays for her to go to England, which is crazy, especially not after knowing anyone, right? To attend a family reunion, and where they're all attending this wedding of their aristocratic acquaintance and patron, DeVille, which is another great character in the story. And if we had been forewarned by the prequel, we'd still reckon there was something creepy about the DeVille manor, which plays as another character in this film. Given the paintings and sculptures, the way the internal gloom and counterpoised gleaming stone exterior show, you could tell that this movie was in for many surprises. You know, you have a creepy butler who appears to play a part in the disappearance of a waitress that was hired to cater the wedding. There's a whole cobweb of things that get encrusted in wine cellars, and a dark library room provide the perfect kind of locations for the attacks that are going to go on eventually throughout this film, that are going to have you in awe. You know, this movie has so many perfect locations, and it's cinematically and thematically beautiful. Cinematography in this film alone, my God. As scary as it is, at the same time, it's very beautiful. You want to live in this place. You know, as the narrative unfolds, the nature of the attacker, right, becomes clearer, and the horror scenes are more explicit. This movie is very gory. Some gore is spilled, but a lot of it is saved. While you might guess as to what's going on from an early stage, I'll refrain from here because there's going to be a lot of spoilers if I was to continue. I do want you to go see this movie, and I do want you to go enjoy it. The mansion itself is virtually a character, like I mentioned before. You know, as for the environment and a lot of the vivid overhead shots of speaking, dialogue, dancing, the movie's not all that original, but it does try a new angle at a very old trope, and a romance as well as a horror story. I thought it was worthwhile, especially when it comes to the acting. Even though I feel like towards the end of the movie, they did change a lot of the acting. But, you know, that's the most I can say about it. I definitely want you to go see this movie. You know, what results in an average movie. This movie basically is a neo-Gothic drama with a lot of amazing imagery, some thrillers twists that should be good for a teenager-based kind of audience. Note there's some moments that might be harder for people to see, in the form of boundary violation. Here you have torture, confinement, and some rather occult appetites that a lot of sensitive people will be kind of in awe in. Me personally, I love the Carnage candy, so, you know, it didn't do anything to me, honestly. I kind of love it. Then you pass that through, the chill and scare factor are very minimal at best in this film. I wouldn't pass this movie for a horror film if it wasn't for the scenes that I mentioned that are very gory. but this movie did have a lot of predictable plots, with a very messy ending, very messy editing. The story at times feels very rushed, although the pacing of the film goes right along. There's not a really slow moment in the film, and I'm not gonna lie, the movie was kind of boring, you know. The trailer to me, when I watched it for the first time, you know, gave me a lot of promising vibes. It gave me this, I gotta go watch this film. But when you actually do watch the film, you're underwhelmed, you know. Everything in the trailer, well, it's not really a spoiler, but everything in the trailer is basically towards the end of the film. You know, a whole hour goes, you're introduced to the woman, you're introduced to the family that she didn't know she had. There's this love story going on back and forth. It kind of plays as a Hallmark movie at the end of the day. And as the narrative unfolds, the nature of this kind of cobweb of events that goes on becomes clearer, and it becomes more darker from what's going on at an early stage. But, you know, if it wasn't for our female lead, I think this movie was one of those movies that you should have passed on. But I'm not gonna say pass on it. I genuinely thought the film was a great way to view art. You know, firstly, this film does have its problems regarding, like, you know, race and kind of this woke stuff that goes on nowadays in movies, which I think is pointless, what I think is literally stupid. But, you know, the next lead, the co-lead in the film, I think went hand in hand with the lead. When it comes to the effects, a lot of it was CGI mixed with a lot of practical effects that were kind of dreadful at best. You know what I mean? The fight scenes and the vampire stuff disappointed me. I thought it would have been way better, especially now in 2022, with graphics being way better than what they were back then. But at the end of the day, stick around, because the ending was even worse. Again, nonsensical and illogical. This isn't gonna be the top movie of this year for me, but I give it a 5 out of 10. You should definitely go let me know what you think about it. Hit me up on my Discord, and I hope you liked the review. Till the next time, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.